I just tell the truth, and telling the truth is crazy in a world full of lies. If you mix brilliance with bravery, that we can ignite something. Even this conversation alone can ignite the people.
The time is now to express and for people to believe in themselves. The time is now for it to be okay to be great. People in this world shun people for being great, for being a bright color, for standing out. But the time is now to be okay to be the greatest you.
Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl Kelly, and we are back with another video. If you guys are new to the channel and you enjoy true crime stories, news, politics, and so much more, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, guys. I really would appreciate it. And if you are a returning listener, subscriber, well, thank you guys, as always, for being a friend. I really appreciate y'all, and please like the video if you like it. Give me a comment, whatever you can do. It really does help me out, and it's a free way to do so. And I thank everyone in advance for watching this video.
You know the thing.
So let's get right into it. Alright guys, so let's jump right into what we're going to talk about today. I wanted to get on here and just discuss with you guys this recent controversy, if you will, that has come out about Donald Trump possibly saying the N-word, okay, and how utterly ridiculous it is. And we're going to go over some of the proof, you know, well-documented proof that is just, could be like nothing further than the most stupid thing that I've ever heard. You know, if this was true, you know, they would have came out with this on day one, guys. Like, let's be real with each other. You know, if they had a video of Donald Trump saying nigga, you know, like with the hard R, then, you know, it would have come out, okay? And I said that because, you know, like, first of all, I've said it before, and I've said it in front of black people, and it's never been a problem because I'm not racist, and I'm so sick of having to speak, because we sound ridiculous, talking in these terms, you know, in terms, the N-word, I think is so stupid. You know, I'm not going to say it because I don't like that word. I don't like the hard R version of that word, and I never say it in my real life, ever. I never have, and I've never liked the word in general. Because, you know, it's not because, like, they don't want me to like it. It's because I think it is an ugly word, and it does represent something ugly. But, nevertheless, we're going to get into it today, guys, and we're going to talk about these things. And I want to start it off with this video right here, because this happened, you know, right after the Trump prosecution, you know, the fake guilty verdict that came out against Donald Trump, which now we're starting to see some problems with that, and let's just hope it all works out for the best, because there might have been some, you know, funny business going on. But I wanted to show you guys this video if you haven't seen it. This is the most diabolical shit that I have seen in quite some time, and this video actually scared me. So this was Joe Biden right after he gave his little press conference, which is absolutely abhorrent and ridiculous that he would do this from the White House, give a press conference about the political prosecution of his top opponent, that he is behind the scenes, like a little puppeteer, even though everyone tries to gaslight us and say that he's, you know, he has nothing to do with this. We all know the truth, at least the ones who, you know. If you know, you know. Let's look at this video, though, guys, and I just want to warn you in advance. It is terrifying.
Trump refers to himself as a political prisoner and blames you directly. What's your response?
No, don't stop! Don't stop! Why can't they tell him? Just f***ing keep walking. Whenever he's out in public and he stops. No bueno.
And this is one of their guys, okay? This is Jon Stewart. This is y'all's guy. This is y'all's fucking guy. You don't want him to stop? Like in public? The president? The quote, big heavy quotes president that you guys supposedly elected? It's a problem if he stops. Even they know the truth, but they just run cover, and they gaslight, and it's just so ridiculous to me. Because, like, even they know what is going on here. But nevertheless, let's see the reaction to, you know, this question that was shouted at him after he was shuffling away from the podium.
Okay, go.
Sir?
Oh. my God.
We'd love to hear your thoughts, sir.
That's gonna be in my nightmare. That's living in my nightmares. That smile. Look at that face. Look at that face.
Why does everything have to be so weird?
This is your guy, Jon Stewart. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. You own it. You made that weird hair sniffing bed. Now go lay in it and get your hair sniffed, okay? I don't want to hear why does everything have to be so weird, okay? These are your choices, consequences of your actions, sir. And I hope you choke on them. Honestly, I do. I really do. And I hope you're all haunted by that creepy ass smile just as much as I will be, because my goodness. So let's get into the recent gaslighting accusations, the absolute ludicrous allegations that Donald Trump at one point during The Apprentice, okay, said the N-word. Okay, guys, the N-word. He said, but he said supposedly this word, and former Apprentice producer alleges Trump used the word to refer to black contestants. Okay, so producer for The Apprentice is claiming that former President Donald Trump used that word during the show's filming, and it was recorded on camera. But somehow, throughout all these years of prosecuting Donald Trump, trying to find any dirt on him whatsoever that would stick, they've just really been... I mean, I've never seen anybody work harder at anything in my life than they have worked to try to bring down Donald Trump. And in all of the years of trying, in all of their attempts, you know, the different, like the spying on the campaign at the beginning, the Steele dossier, you know, impeachment 1, impeachment 2, Russia, the hiding of the laptop. I mean, we go on and on and on all day, guys. If there had been a video, the pussy tape, let's not forget the grabber by the pussy, okay? They threw that at the wall. And this is worse than that. Well, we could argue that this might be the worst offense that anyone can ever make, would be to say this word, okay? But, like, if they had that video, how, and tell me how, in God's green, beloved earth, would it have surfaced by now? Riddle me that, jokester, because I don't believe it. Not in for 1 second does this video exist, because, first of all, it would have came out. No doubt about it. No doubt a freaking about it. And number 2, I just don't even believe that Donald Trump used that word in that manner, because that's dumb as fuck. He has always been cool with black people, and we're going to look at that in a second, but let's get into what this stupid ass idiot said, who's just trying to promote himself, and I think he's writing a book or something. And then, you know, Omarosa, who was disgraced and fired from the White House for God knows what. I mean, she probably stole something. It was a black woman, but kidding, not really, but kind of. But who knows what she did? She was disgracefully fired and booted out of the White House, and now she's got, you know, an axe to grind against Donald Trump. And she's came out recently and actually said she's heard the tape, guys. She's heard the tape, but didn't acquire a copy of it, didn't, you know, like, film the audio of it, nothing like that. No. She just believe her. You don't need to hear for yourself. Just believe what they're telling you, okay? Because they would never lie.
Speaking of TikTok, the Biden-Harris campaign decided to share with their 354,000 followers a message about a story that's been in the news this week. I mean, it's been in the news since 2015. I covered this story the first time it came out, and it's been revived now. And it's about Trump allegedly, while he was hosting The Apprentice, allegedly using the N-word in front of people, and it allegedly being caught on camera. I remember people saying this before the 2016 election, like, oh my God, you know, this is it. Like, if that's true, he's done. You know, you can't, like, he'll definitely lose if that tape gets released. And then there was pressure on Mark Burnett. I remember Roseanne's ex-husband, Tom Arnold, kept saying, let's see the tape, let's see the tapes. No tapes were ever released. And Trump said, Mark Burnett says that no tapes exist. And Trump says this didn't happen, more importantly. But now what has happened is a producer of The Apprentice, who says he was under a non-disclosure agreement, an NDA, for the past 20 years, has just seen the agreement expire. And now he is making the media rounds because he's promoting a book in which he makes clear Donald Trump is terrible, that he was aware of it. He was a witness to it. It did happen. And he believes there is tape of it, though doesn't know who has it and doesn't believe it'll actually ever come out. So let me just first show you what the Biden-Harris campaign posted on TikTok 21.
Guys, you have to see this new report about Donald Trump. A producer on The Apprentice just came out and said that Donald Trump called a black contestant on his show this. And here's Donald Trump's own former assistant confirming that there's a tape of him saying it.
I had an opportunity to go out in Los Angeles and sit down with the person who actually has a copy of the tape. And I heard his voice as clear as you and I are sitting here.
You have heard the tape?
I have heard
since
the
publication
tape.
Of this book?
Absolutely.
So you know it exists?
And I know it exists.
Anyone notice a pattern here? This is the same man who called to execute innocent black men and spread racist lies about the first black president. Donald Trump is exactly who we all knew he was, a lifelong racist. Black voters kicked Donald Trump out of the White House in 2020, and we're going to do it again this November.
Apologize for what?
Cory Booker's called for it.
Cory should apologize. He knows better. There's not a racist bone in my body. I've been involved in civil rights my whole career. The blinders have been taken off. They've all of a sudden seen a hell of a lot clearer. They're seeing, geez, the reason I was able to stay sequestered in my home is because some black woman was able to stack the grocery shelf.
When may I expect dinner, George? Presently, Mr. Harris. Presently.
What would the noontime be without the classic Leave It to Beulah? Beulah, who's always in the kitchen.
But never seems to know what's cooking.
You cannot go to a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts unless you have a slight Indian accent. I'm not joking.
The world is different. There's too much unfinished business for us to just look backwards. We have to look to the future.
I know Joe. We know Joe. But most importantly, Joe knows us.
You don't know me.
And by the way, you know, I sit on the stand and it get hot. I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They'd look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
Even call centers, which rushed overseas in the hundreds of thousands. How many times you get the call? I'd like to talk to you about your credit card.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. They're going to put you all back in chains.
Better than anybody else. And you don't know my state. My state was a slave state. My state is a border state. My state is the 8th largest black population in the country. My state is anything from a northeast liberal state.
What? Can I just say, who is this? Who in the fuck is this? And how long ago is this? This was like maybe, 10, 15 years ago? I mean, this is a clone. What we have now is actually a clone. I mean, look at the difference. Even the voice, everything, like, not just even, like, the fact that he has, like, you know, his wits about him. I mean, put that all to the side. I feel like this is a completely different person. I mean, when did they replace Joe Biden? That's the question I want to know.
Not the first sort of mainstream African American who is articulate and bright and clean and nice looking guy. I mean, that's a storybook, man.
My son is Attorney General. A year in Iraq, came back, and that's one of the things that he finds was most in need. When he was over there in Iraq for a year, people would come to him and talk about what was happening at home in terms of foreclosures, in terms of bad loans that were these Shylocks who took advantage of these women and men.
Back from Mumbai to go meet with President Xi in China. Oh my God, I stopped in Singapore to meet with a guy named Lee Kuan Yew, who most foreign policy experts around the world say is the wisest man in the Orient.
There's not a racist bone in my body.
But I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black. Clearly indicates that there was intent. The court found the plan with unerring precision slices through the city's traditional subunit, the ward, in a racially selective manner, leaving intact predominantly white wards while carving up those densely populated by blacks. As of the governor, the court concludes, quote, the governor's opposition to the Nunes plan was predicated in significant part on his delineation of a majority black district centered in Orleans Parish. In a confidential portions of your staff memo, they brought to your attention the allegation that important legislators in defeating the Nunes plan in the basement said, quote, we already have a nigger mayor and we don't need any more nigger big shots.
Excuse me?
And the court cited evidence of discriminatory intent on the part of other legislators, including the representative who testified at the court hearing, that there were legislators, quote, who don't feel they wanted to have a district that would be able to elect attention the allegation that important legislators in defeating the Nunes plan in the basement said, quote, "We already have a nigger mayor and we don't need any more nigger big shots." And the court cited evidence of discriminatory intent on the part of other legislators, incling the representative who testified at the court hearing, that there were legislators, quote, "who don't feel they wanted to have a district that would be able to elect."
Not the hard R. Not the hard R from Joe Biden. Visual, audio visual proof. You know, a tape, an actual, real, provable tape. Instances, multiple instances where, you know, Joe Biden has been not only racist, you know, some ways funny, but most of the ways really cringy and just bad. You know, I would say bad is a good word for that. And saying the word, okay, that people are now pretending to claim that Donald Trump has said with zero proof. Zero proof, okay? It's a little bit outrageous, if you ask me. When the fuck is Caitlin Collins, or whatever, I think that's her name, I don't really care. When is this CNN bitch, when did she start transitioning into a man? You're looking a little strong in the face, girl. What is going on? I mean, my God. What, is this a man? I mean, I'm looking at two men here. What is happening?
And at one point, Carolyn Kepcher, who was the head of his hospitality unit and ran one of his golf clubs, sort of came outside herself and said, Kwame Jackson oversaw Omarosa, who was brought back onto the task and created all kinds of problems for herself and other people all along the season, but was great TV and was kept around for whatever reason. Are you reading something? And for that, Carolyn Kepcher thought, well, Kwame deserves to be considered for how graceful he was in handling this. And Trump seemed to have an issue with this idea all along. You could see him reacting and shaking his head, wobbling his head, grimacing, wincing, before he said, yeah, but would America buy an... Then he said the N-word.
Oh, is that right?
And then I looked at Trump to see the reaction that he was giving, like it was some sort of joke, and he was still wincing and bobbing his head, and he was serious.
Wow, that is you know, just an overabundance of details for somebody who's remembering something that happened, you know, over a decade ago. It's unbelievable, quite literally, and I think it's ridiculous in every single way. I would never take the word of a man who can barely open his eyes when he's giving an interview on live TV to a manly looking woman with a strong jaw, okay? That whole situation stinks, okay? And I don't like it. I don't like it for one bit. And this man worked as a producer on The Apprentice. You didn't have a problem with it, sir. All those years, you didn't have a problem. And it's funny now, you do. So what, you're complacent? Did you quit right then and there when you heard Donald Trump utter the horrifying, you know, magic word of racism and invoking Hitler and everything else that's god-awful in the world? Did you quit on the spot when Donald Trump said, apparently in a room full of people on the set of a hit television show, knowing that he's the star of this program and it could affect his brand, his billion-dollar brand that he's built from the ground up? He just so openly said the word. I take it 0% serious.
Okay, if Donald Trump called someone the N-word ever in his life, Megan, you and I know they would not have been saving that information for 8 freaking years. It would have been everywhere. It would have been painted on every building, billboard, broadcast, and baby. If that was a real thing that happened and there was a recording or any sort of proof, they wouldn't need to be doing this charade through the court system that they're doing now, because that would have been the number one thing. That is the proof and the evidence that they have been wanting so badly for all this time. They wouldn't just be like, oh yeah, it exists. You know, I've heard it, but it's not being broadcasted in every single outlet 24/7. No, it's completely fake. And I also want to bring attention to the fact that right now there is a reason why they are running with this fake apprentice N-word story. And that is because what is really happening is President Joe Biden just gave permission to Ukraine to use U.S. weapons to bomb Russia, which is instigating World War III. So all of this happening simultaneously, also while he's draining our strategic oil reserves to temporarily lower gas prices prices just so he can try to win the 2024 election. The Democrats do not want that to be the news. So they are talking about an N-word hoax with Donald Trump for the 150th time. Give me a break.
And she's got a point. I do think that a lot of this has to do with, like, you know, they bring out these ridiculous things. They try to change up the news cycle when there's something going on that they don't want us to know about, whatever it is that they're trying to hide in regards to this whole, you know, Biden authorizing the use of American weapons in Ukraine. That was a story that came out, and now they're trying to walk it back. It's utterly ridiculous, and, you know, I would never believe a thing that they have to say. But this was a story that she was talking about, according to a senator and a Western official, that Ukraine uses U.S. weapons to strike inside of Russia. And it would not surprise me one damn bit, okay? And then the other thing that came out right after this that scared the shit out of me personally, because I was alarmed upon reading the headline. And then whenever you start to dig into the story, they try to say, oh, well, it's nothing. It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. But it's mighty fine timing, mighty bizarre to see that, you know, Russian warships to dock in Havana, Cuba, insists there's no threat. Okay? So this is what's going on. Okay? Very suspicious timing. And, you know, why? And Russia and Cuba have had this, like, long-standing, you know, relationship with one another since the Cuban Missile Crisis or whatever. So it's like, this is not a new thing, okay? Russia has kept that relationship strong and has kept them as an ally because they are so close to America. And if and when it ever needs to be the case that Russia would need to do a strike against us, America, he knows that he can go to Cuba and hit up his old ally and post up over there, okay? Which is exactly what's going on now. He's posting it up. So 4 Russian ships, including a nuclear-powered submarine, no big deal, will arrive in Havana next week, Cuban officials have said. Cuba's Ministry of Foreign Affairs said on Thursday that the vessels, none of which carry any nuclear weapon, including a nuclear-powered submarine, none of which carry any nuclear weapons. Okay. Whatever. I wasn't born yesterday. But anyways, continue. Will dock in the Cuban capital between June 12th and 17th, assuring that their president does not represent a threat to the region. Oh, yeah. Well, I'll take your word for it then. Whatever you say. This visit corresponds to the historical friendly relations between Cuba and the Russian Federation and strictly adheres to the international regulations. So the unusual deployment of the powerful nuclear submarine Kazan and 3 other naval vessels so close to the United States comes amid major tensions over the war in Ukraine. Cuba and the U.S. are only about 90 miles apart at their closest point. So Vladimir Putin suggested this week that Moscow could take asymmetrical steps if Western countries like Germany and the U.S. were to supply Ukraine with weapons that were then used on Russian soil. He claimed that the use of certain weapons, including the use of advanced missile technology, would be tantamount to participation in Russia's war with Ukraine. The U.S. and others have stressed that the weapons can only be used in border areas from where Russia has launched a series of attacks on Ukraine in recent weeks. And even that, can we stop? Can we fucking stop this? It's ridiculous. I don't give a shit about Ukraine. I never have, and I never will. Let Russia have the whole country at this point. I just don't care. I do not care. This is beyond ridiculous, what we're doing here. Okay, playing this little game. It's going to get people killed. So, that's neither here nor there. I don't know if that's a distraction or not. I think it's just important overall to just know, you know? So, whether or not that they're using this whole, like, Trump story as a distraction is a moot point. It's just a whole ridiculous pile of bullshit on top of another ridiculous pile of scary ass, you know, more important bullshit. So, you know, just stay woke out there. You know, stay up and up. You know, keep your eyes open. Keep your ear to the ground. And never forget who Joe Biden actually is. When they try to tell you that, you know, Donald Trump is the racist and he is the bad man, orange man, so very bad. Just don't forget, what all we've seen from Joe Biden. And don't let your lying eyes and your lying ears fool you, okay? Believe what you see, believe what you hear, believe what you know, and make your determinations based not on what you see on social media or from the mainstream media. Base it on what you actually know to be true and can see for your own self and your own determination. Make those for yourself. And when they try to gaslight you and tell you that black people don't fuck with Donald Trump, that Donald Trump is a racist, he doesn't like black people, you know, they've called him every ist name in the book, and then they try to turn it around and call it to all of us who support him. Donald Trump has a clear history of like being like cool with black people, and like, you know, black people love.
That's the way it goes when you party just like I do. Bitches on my dick that used to brush me off in high school. Take over the world when I'm on my Donald Trump shit. Look at all this money, ain't that some shit? Take over the world when I'm on my Donald Trump shit. Look at all this money, ain't that some shit? Up like Donald Trump, say slang like them Trump. She gon' chew you up, twerk like she from rap. Don't get me wild up, soldiers at a 10. Look what you done done, now you done fucked up like Donald Trump.
Richest nigga in my hood, call me Donald Trump. The tactics count my money while I smoke a blunt.
I had to get some real professionals for the job, son.
Numerous cats.
Word up. Blazing through.
Pass that African black gold over here. You probably think I'm high, seems low. Chain around my neck, border from Egypt. Need what? Hennessy drink, mahogany guns, we trees up. Come out your shirt, buckle knees up. This Casablanca rap nigga, throw some G's up. Less poly, slow-mo status, bring the keys up.
In zone G's and really counted them checks. I'm Donald Trump in a white tee and white ones. The conversation is money, nigga. You won't say. But now I break down all my bills in Paragon. Hugo Boss jumper, cause I just Donald Trump, yeah.
So much money in my house, I'm having cold sweats. Throwing bands in the club, they sending death threats. Donald Trump bank account, you could call it that. Jackson, Franklin, I could never see a debt.
Pay me now, keep it moving, no exception, no confusion. And we racing to the top, no competition. I'm a shoo-in, and you in my way. Don't ruin my day. Before I pay $100K for them to boo you off stage. I'm way up front. Stop playing, don't print. Used to whoop though like Jay-Z, but now I'm thinking Donald Trump, Bob Johnson, Warren Buffett. Fuck it, ain't that tough. 100 mil stacked up, dollar bills add up.
Loving him back, so it's just ridiculous to try to say that Donald Trump used this word, and there's a video of it, but nobody knows where to find the video or how to get it out to the public. Can anyone help them get this video who could potentially smear Donald Trump's whole entire reputation and life? Can anyone assist with getting this out?
Important documents and faking business records. He was also impeached twice while in office. Despite legal issues, some rappers advocate for Trump's return to the White House for a second term this coming election. Here's a look at the hip-hop artists who have openly supported Trump over the course of his presidency and beyond. Kanye West. Kanye's well-documented support of Trump started back in 2016. Ye first met with Trump while he was still just a president-elect. He later was pictured in the White House visiting Trump.
Airplane, and this is what our president should be flying in. Look at this shirt.
We'll get rid of Air Force One. Can we get rid of Air Force One? No, you don't like that.
Well, we're gonna have Apple, American company, work on this plane with. But you know what I don't like about? It's not that I don't like what I need Saturday Night Live to improve on, or what I need the liberals to improve. If he don't look good, we don't look good. This is our president. He has to be the freshest, the fly.
This right here, this right here is what I want to see more of, okay? I like this energy, okay? I like to see a president like this and a guy like Ye, this version of Ye. I don't know what this new version of Ye is. Sometimes he is bipolar, guys. We have to understand this. And he's going through a phase that, they've got him back on the meds. But I like the off meds Kanye. That's the one we need. And this was such a beautiful moment. I mean, my God, treasured moment in history. Let's put this one in a vault somewhere and bury it underground, and, you know, have people 50 years from now reopen it and watch it again, because what a beauty. This right here, this right here is what I want to see more of, okay? I like this energy, okay? I like to see a president like this and a guy like Ye, this version of Ye. I don't know what this new version of Ye is. Sometimes he, you know, he is bipolar, guys. We have to understand this. And he's going through a phase that, you know, they've got him back on the meds. But I like the off meds Kanye. You know, that's the one we need. And this was such a beautiful moment. I mean, my God, treasured moment in history. Let's put this one in a vault somewhere and bury it underground, and, you know, have people 50 years from now reopen it and watch it again, because what a beauty.
The flyest planes, the best factories, and we have to make our core be empowered. We have to bring jobs into America, because our best export is entertainment and ideas. But when we make everything in China and not in America, then we're cheating on our country.
Shortly after Trump's victory, Kanye became one of his staunchest supporters and was often seen rocking a notorious red MAGA hat. He received backlash for rocking the hat and being pro-Trump. "It was something about when I put this hat on, it made me feel like Superman," Kanye explained. "You made a Superman. That's my favorite superhero. You made a Superman cape. I think it's the bravery that helps you beat this game called life. They tried to scare me to not wear this hat. My own friends. This hat, it gives me power in a way." Lil Wayne. Ahead of the 2020 election, Lil Wayne endorsed Trump, much to the disappointment of Weezy's fans. He later posed for a candid photo with the POTUS and commended him on his handling of criminal justice reform. Trump later pardoned Lil Wayne after he pleaded guilty to illegal gun possession. Lil Pump. Lil Pump endorsed Donald Trump in October of 2020 and was invited to appear on stage with the president during an election day rally.
He's one of the big superstars of the world, Little Pimp. There he is.
He mispronounces his name. That's funny. Little Pump.
Hello, everybody. How you guys feeling?
Tomato.
I come here to say, Mr. President, I appreciate everything you've done for our country. You brought the troops home, and you're doing the right thing. MAGA 2020. Don't forget that.
The rapper has continuously advocated for the former president and has since remained fully committed to seeing Trump back in the White House.
Do not vote for Sleepy Joe at all.
Sexy Red. Sexy Red threw her full support behind Donald Trump during an interview with the This Past Weekend podcast last October. According to the new rapper, everyone from her hometown of St. Louis is behind Trump too.
Right? Who is that?
That's Donald Trump.
That's the real Trump.
Yeah.
At a UFC game?
Yeah, and he came in.
Wow.
And he's silly, man.
I know. I want to meet him. He looks short. Is he short?
He's probably doing okay. I think older people start to get a little shorter.
I know. I said that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But
I want to meet Trump.
He was pretty chill. He was just, he just seems like a fancy guy.
He funny.
Sexy told podcast host Theo Von that at first the people in her city were skeptical of him, but that once he started getting black people out of jail and giving people that free money, they changed their tune. Kodak Black. Kodak Black's allegiance to Trump began after he famously pardoned the South Florida rapper in 2021 while Kodak was serving a 4-year sentence on a federal gun charge. Ever since then, Kodak has gone to bat for Trump multiple times.
DT Donald Trump?
Yeah, well, we ain't got to talk too much about it.
I gotta ask.
Yeah, what's up?
That's fire.
You got
Mars, nigga. That's legendary. Like, how did that happen?
I'm mafia so bad.
But it said, I changed my life tonight if Donald Trump reduced my sentence. He not only reduced his sentence, he pardoned you.
Waka Flocka Flame. Waka Flocka Flame emerged as a Trump supporter in 2020 when he implied on Twitter that Trump had been a better president than Barack Obama. The following year, Waka was given a life.
Big respect to Waka for saying that. Big fucking respect, because that takes a lot of guts to not only endorse Donald Trump, to say that he was a better president than Obama, which is not only true, it's exponentially true. And for a black rapper to come out and say that, I didn't even realize that he'd ever said that. That's crazy. Big respect.
Lifetime Achievement Award from the former POTUS. Recently, Waka asked Trump to abolish Christopher Columbus Day, something only Congress and the sitting president would be able to do. Chief Keef shouted out Trump on his Instagram story in 2023 following the former POTUS's arrest in Atlanta. Sosa shared an obviously photoshopped image of Trump throwing up a Gangster Disciples gang sign and said Trump would likely get a pass if he were to end up in prison. Benny the Butcher hasn't shied away from showcasing his support of Donald Trump despite the backlash he got when he tweeted in 2023 that he was voting Trump in the next election. The Buffalo, New York rapper has remained steadfast in his support, telling XXL in a recent interview that he's sick of the black community being so loyal to the Democratic Party.
But I haven't voted for only person I ever voted for was Obama. You know what I'm saying? So I was just really speaking on how, you know, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of everybody being so loyal. I'm sick of the black community being so loyal to the Democratic Party when we haven't really shown any results. So I was really speaking like when I said I was voting for Trump, I mean like, you know, really saying in a nutshell, it's like what happened if we switch our party? Like what could they do for us? Because the Democrats really ain't do much for us. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, that's why all my bitches bad. They see this crazy life.
This is one shot, one kill. What's the deal? See, you see who I'm sitting next to? Donald Trump. Smell the money. Niggas, you know who you with. It's Tony Yayo up in this. Donald Trump, just say something.
I'm here, folks. I'm here. And this
Whoa. Smell the money.
Great group of people.
Smell the money.
Yeah, G Unit Radio. G Unit Radio. Who kid? Christ.
Hey, Yayo, you owe Who Kid some money.
I met Trump.
You owe Who Kid a lot of money.
I'm here with Donald Trump. I never thought I'd be next to this guy, man.
Let him talk. Let him speak.
Shut up.
Let him speak.
I don't think they believe he's here. Mr.
Donald Trump, just say something.
I'm here, folks. I'm here. And
Whoa. Smell the money.
Great group of people.
Smell the money. Mr. Trump, are you going to buy my album June 28th? Thoughts of a Predicate Film?
He's going to buy all your albums?
Can you buy 10 million albums?
I can buy whatever you throw at me.
Whoa.
And I'll be first in line to buy your album.
Thank you, sir.
Wow,
I just want to be your friend. What? Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
What's the next venture? Like, what's next?
I don't know. You know, I've always liked real estate. Okay, real estate's always been good for me. You guys like the whole recording thing, right?
Yeah, no,
but I like real estate. I've always done the best in that.
Right.
And the better the location, the more money I make.
Yeah, that's what we like to hear.
But you know what? I think 50's on your heels, Trump.
Well, he's got to be catching me pretty soon. I tell you, he's doing pretty well.
I think this is him on line 11 right here. That's Hove. I hope it's not.
Shade 45. Hello?
Hello?
Yo, Hove, where's 50 at?
That's the boss.
I'm right here.
Oh, all right, 50.
Oh, look at
That's
we
a
got
familiar
Donald
voice.
Trump here.
I hear you on there with the big man.
Yeah, I told him you on his heels.
How you doing?
Oh, man, I'm fine.
Well, you know, I have some kids, and myself included, but I have kids, they think you are the best, the absolute best.
Wow.
That's pretty cool, I'll tell you. My little daughter Ivanka and my son Eric, these people, they just love your music.
Wow.
Man, I'm going to keep making it.
Well, you're going to keep making it. You better keep making it. I'm going to have some angry children if you don't keep making it.
Yeah.
Nice talking to you. Congratulations on the great success, man. That's amazing.
Man. Thank you.
You know he's shooting a movie right now called Get Rich or Die Trying, loosely based on his life, right, Fifth?
Yeah, I'm actually, I just flew back from Toronto. That's why I couldn't actually be in the studio. I'd like to be there and meet him face to face.
That's all right, man. You know, it's, I see you're doing a movie.
Yeah.
That's better. You know, what they're doing on me is they're doing a movie on me, and they have lots of women, and they have lots of guys.
And lots of money.
I don't know, and I'll tell you, it's going to be interesting in a couple of weeks, so we'll see what happens. I'd rather be getting paid for it.
They're all fanboying. It's so cute. You know, we used to have a proper country, guys. We really did. We used to have a wholesome, proper-ass country filled with this kind of silly shenanigans, okay? I mean, this was simpler times. This was the 2000s, guys. I mean, it just really makes me, you know, want to drop a tear in utter, you know, nostalgia and, you know, a longing for better times when I hear things like this. It's very, very terrible what has happened to our country and what they have done to Donald Trump. It was so crazy at one point that people were ostracized and legitimately, like, unfriended, unpersoned, just treated like shit if you came out in support of Donald Trump. You were made to feel like you were a stupid person. And a lot of people fell for the bullshit. A lot of people really fed into that. And it's sick, but now people are finally starting to see like, oh, I guess it's okay if I like Trump, or if I come out in support, then I guess like people are considering to be more acceptable. So one last thing we're going to comment on here is just another example of anti-white racism being flagrantly displayed in the media, and this has to do with the WNBA, and I almost don't even want to talk about this, but we're going to just touch on it very lightly. And Caitlin Collins has been making a big, old, stinking pile of mess over there in the lesbian NBA squad. I don't even know what it is. I don't watch that shit, and I don't care. But they've really been not liking her at all. So the big fucking dust-up that recently happened that people were very upset about was the fact that Caitlin Collins has been, or Caitlin, what is her fucking name? Is it Caitlin? Caitlin something. I don't know. Caitlin. Let's call her Caitlin. Has been basically the MVP of the WNBA, which is, I mean, it ain't saying much, but she's having it. It's her title and she's running with it, and the media are loving her, the fans are loving her, the attendance at their games has been increasing, and the black girls, they don't like it, okay? They are threatened by this white woman, and they're not being shy about it. So the big thing that happened was this foul on Caitlin Clark. Sorry, Caitlin Collins was the manly-looking bitch, the other manly-looking bitch who's on CNN. But, so the WNBA upgrades hard hit on Caitlin Clark, finds Angel Reese for media violation. So the first WNBA matchup between rookies Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese was memorable for both, but not for the best of reasons. Clark was the recipient of a hard foul late in the third quarter when Chicago Sky guard Chennedy Carter blindsided Clark and shoulder-checked her from behind on an inbounds play. Referees initially called the collision a common foul, which was, I don't even know about sports at all, but I could tell you that wasn't no damn common foul. That was almost assault, okay? But on Sunday, the league office reviewed the play and upgraded the foul to a flagrant one on Carter. And I guarantee you, mark my fucking words, if it had been the other way around and Caitlin had body checked this black girl like she did her, it would have immediately been a flagrant foul. They probably would have thrown her out the game, fined her ass, and made her sit out for the next 10 games, mind you. I just want to say that, and I will bet money on that. And this has apparently been a pattern of behavior, speaking of patterns of behavior, against this girl who is just hated simply for being white in a predominantly black WNBA lesbian league. And they hate it. They really do. They can't stand it that this girl is getting attention. And it just shouldn't be okay. I mean, it just shouldn't be okay. Why? Like, this is the path that we're headed down. If we keep continuing to allow this from black people who hate white people way more in this day and age than we ever could hate them, for the most part, I feel like, on a large scale. You're going to have your one-offs. You're going to have your racists from each group that is just absolutely hateful and disgusting person. That's not who I'm talking about here. I'm talking about on a broad scale. Black people have been conditioned to hate white people for no fucking reason. This girl did nothing to anybody except for be a really good player that has drawn a lot of attention to herself. And they can't stand it. And it's disgusting to me that she's been treated this way. I think it's ridiculous. And I don't care about the WNBA at all. Again, I'll say it. I mean, what is this? What, are they going to kiss? So it said Angel Reese, this hoe right here, who Caitlin Clark had this whole beef with whenever they were both still in college, received some criticism on social media during the game as she celebrated on the sky bench just moments after Carter made contact with Clark. It is unclear, however, what Reese was celebrating in that moment. Reese did not make herself available after the game to reporters, for which she received a $1,000 fine. And so many people have come out in support of this girl and just said that, like, yeah, we're seeing the blatant targeting of this girl for no particular reason other than her race, from what everyone can gather, and it's wrong. Even people who are liberals, people who are other black athletes, all walks of life are condemning this, except for the salty ass black hookers in the league who feel that they can body check this girl, who can play rough with her, who can try to foul her inappropriately and do it all for absolutely no reason other than the fact that they hate her for her skin color. Somebody said some words that were sports related. Said Trinity Carter drills a jumper that lays a body check on Caitlin Clark that should get her a look from the Black Hawks. I don't know what that means. Trinity Clark, Trinity, there's so many C's, my God. Trinity Carter out there proving everyone point about the women targeting Caitlin Clark. They do it to themselves. So a hard foul is an actual action that should take place on the basketball court is one thing, but this was completely different and seemingly quite uncalled for since the ball wasn't even in play at the time. But unsurprisingly, this wasn't even ruled to be a flagrant foul, which they've now gone back and had to correct and change because so many people were outraged at this disgusting call that was so fucking obvious that it was a almost, like I said, almost assault. Okay, let's just be real. So this was the play that was in question.
1 for 2 at the line.
Okay, so here's the Trinity Carter girl, she looks. Ooh, let me just shut up. And then Caitlin's right here.
Carter had it deflected by Clark, who comes up with a steal. Here's Clark. Clark using the Boston screen. Carter got over it. Bump from behind, and Indiana able to retain possession. Boston, mid-range fake, the pull-up, short, the follow, no. Another chance, won't go for Boston. Loose ball, this time it's good. Aaliyah Boston flips it in after the deflection from Clark.
Aaliyah Boston has 7 points and is 3 of 10 from the floor, and she's played an outstanding game so far.
She has been terrific. Mabry doubled off to Carter. Her jumper is good. Kennedy Carter now with 12 points off the bench.
Look at Angel Reese right here. Oh, we don't know what she was celebrating? Oh, you don't know? Oh, I wonder what she was celebrating just now. I mean, what? What? So let's take a look at it again. So she made the shot right there, right? Okay. The shot's already been made. She's still sitting her ass down on the chair. Okay. Here comes the assault. And that's when she stands her bitch ass up and starts really going in.
And
oh, she's happy.
Big time contact afterwards.
Disgusting. Wow.
Saw the knockaway there from Clark, and then the lay from Boston as the officials are going to take a look at what just transpired between Carter and Clark.
Wow.
I mean, that's clearly a foul, which was called.
Hello?
The question is, will they call it unnecessary? Kennedy Carter.
Wow.
I think that's going to be a flagrant one, and Clark goes to the line and hits the first. They called it away from the ball foul because it happened prior to the inbound. So then anybody can shoot the free throw.
Are you kidding?
Of course, Indiana would have Clark as a great free throw shooter shoot it. A little surprised that it's nothing more than a common foul beyond that. But Clark hits the free throw. Her and Carter were jawing a little bit back and forth the last few possessions.
That was fucking trash behavior. I'm sorry. Absolutely not. Again, I could give a shit less about this sport. And that was just disgusting. Okay? And so people were trying to show the other angle to this play. And I'll show you guys that as well. It's just ridiculous. And this bitch, I'm not even going to play her little soundbite here because I could give a fuck less. She's on there defending her actions and her friend's actions. And, you know, y'all can both go straight to hell. Okay? Gross. So this person right here, Caitlin Clark, delivering a saintly elbow to Trinity Carter, but somehow the media types don't talk about it at all. Why the double standard? Caitlin Clark likes to talk a lot on the court. What is she saying? Is it all appropriate? So, actual retard take here. Actual low IQ, low vibrational, dumb fuck take, showing only the most biased of angles here. And we just saw the actual full play, okay, in full context from different angles from the actual, broadcaster there. The ball was still in play on the court, okay, and I didn't see any really an elbow thrown. This girl was all on her body just now. Chinity, Miss Chinity, she was all over Caitlyn while the ball was still in play, trying to knock her ass off of her legs, trying to get all up in her grill. And I didn't see an elbow thrown at all. I saw her trying to regain her balance and get this stupid bitch off of her. So, I mean, it's just, of course, I had to correct them in the comments. And, I have 5 replies. I didn't even look at these. I didn't even know. But on another note, Trump gets a surprising boost from independents. That's good news. That's good to hear. I mean, I want Trump to win, no matter what's I don't like about him in this new campaign, or, all the things he's failed on, or, whatever. I still want him to win because I feel like, again, I owe that to him as a person who has been grateful for what he's done. And I think it'd be ridiculous if he didn't. And because otherwise, what are we going to be stuck with? Joe Biden. So, really, just take a minute and think on that. And y'all let me know in the comments down below. Like the video if you like it. And please subscribe to the channel if you guys want to see more like this. And until next time, y'all take it easy. I will see y'all later. Bye.
Put on notice, if you fuck around with us, if you do something bad to us, we are going to do things to you that have never been done before.
The forgotten men and women of our country will be forgotten no longer. 2024 is our final battle. They stole our jobs and they plundered our wealth. The future does not belong to globalists. The future belongs to patriots. The activation word, Ronald McDonald. We will drive out the globalists. We will cast out the communists. America will start winning again. Winning like never before. We will bring back our jobs. We will bring back our borders. And we will bring back